When you need a mortgage, don't stress at all. Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning, YouTube. Today is Tuesday, December 9th. It's cold outside, fellas.
Good morning.
Freezing.
Good morning.
Freezing. Steps are frozen over the tundra.
I was in an Uber last night. The guy was rocking Christmas carols. I kind of feel like Uber should have a company policy that if in December you have to be blasting Christmas carols.
Does Christmas carols come in every language?
Well, we actually were discussing this. It's a little strange how it's become. It's a holiday with its own genre of music. How the heck did that even happen?
I don't know. I think it's acceptable. It's almost acceptable year round now to throw on a Christmas tune here and there. Maybe not a whole album, but if you throw a Christmas tune on here and there, I think it's acceptable.
Get a little Mariah Carey going.
Yeah, a little bit in August. Not a whole album, not the whole album. Like maybe one Bublé in June or something.
Maybe. Anth, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to leave the Christmas music for around the holiday.
Okay. All right. I mean, my big feeling is if you can't hear the Christmas song in church, it's not a real Christmas carol. So
it does get you upbeat, though. It does change the vibe, though. I will say that. Your vibe does change when you hear some Christmas music.
You can't be in a bad mood. You really can't.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm like the old nursery rhyme Christmas carol kind of guy. I like the old school stuff, not like all this new opera singing Christmas carols.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But yeah.
Little drummer boy, stuff like that.
It is the holiday season. We're less than 3 weeks from Christmas. And really what you can give yourself as a gift for the holiday is a pre-approval with West Penn Financial. And we're going to get in today what a pre-approval is, why with us we feel it's stronger than others. And if you just sleepwalk through this step, those are the folks that say getting a mortgage was a disaster. It was a disaster. They were asking me for everything. They kept back asking me for more things. It's because questions came up through underwriting. You might have a unique scenario, whatever it might be, but it's because the pre-approval wasn't done correctly. Or you didn't really get a pre-approval. You only got a letter that really didn't mean much. Yeah.
A pre-approval is only as much as we want to do our jobs as originators. I never have done this. I'm going to throw that out there before I say this. I've never have done this, but I am allowed to talk to somebody, not do any work, and send them a letter. And if I didn't have a conscience, nothing could happen to me. But yeah, I don't do that.
It is just a piece of paper, right?
It's a piece of paper, realistically.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is just a piece of paper, but its value weighs a lot more than just a piece of paper. I mean, you're basically letting the sellers know, as well as the buyers, that you are confident in their qualifications, that you are going to lend them money to be able to buy a home.
And that's it right there. That is it right there. If you go to a good lender, your pre-approval letter is gold. If you go to a bad lender or a lender that doesn't do their job well, it's just a piece of paper. And if you get the reputation that you're just giving out pieces of paper out there, that's bad for everyone because you're taking up a real estate agent's time searching houses and you're taking up a buyer's home looking for homes that aren't properly qualified. So make sure you get a pre-approval from West Penn Financial. If you look in the world out there, passports, not every country's passport is the same. You'll hear about some countries' passports are stronger than others because that country has good diplomatic relations, whatever, again, the reason is, hey, right now you have a Russian passport, probably not that great, right? Because of what their country is doing. Their country is doing bad things, so the rest of the world may not let their people into their country. For example, at West Penn, you want a solid pre-approval because how over 90% chance that loan's going to close because that's what we do at West Penn, and they've taken the proper steps. We've pulled credit. One, we've pulled credit. It's a hard credit pull. Okay, guys, we don't play games of doing a soft pull or a partial pull. There's a
We get
cost.
that question comes a lot. I mean, everybody's like, hey, are you going to do a hard pull? And my answer is yes. Without a hard pull, it's just a piece of paper.
Yep. And there's a cost of doing business. And for a buyer, the cost of doing business is being serious enough to get a credit pull. If you're not serious enough to get your credit pull, how can you do a real mortgage pre-approval?
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely correct. I mean, we don't just lend money on somebody's word, and usually that word is wrong whenever we pull credit. So, I mean, we've heard, and we still hear many times, hey, everything's excellent, everything's perfect. And then once we actually get the info to verify and import credit, unfortunately, that is not correct. So we don't lend based on a handshake. We have to actually do the correct process to make sure that you have a smooth process and you're actually going to close.
Yeah. So the first statement we hear that can't be true is, hey, I want to get pre-approved, but I don't want my credit pulled. You're not getting a real pre-approval then. You might get a pre-qualification. You might talk to a loan officer, but you are not being issued that piece of gold, that gold standard West Penn financial pre-approval, unless you're getting that hard credit pull that's good for 120 days. We give you 4 months to search and close on your home. If you're serious about buying, you should have no problem doing that in that time frame.
Yeah. And with the credit and the aspect of that, if you guys have good credit out there, don't worry about it. It's such a rumor and a fallacy that it kills your credit. We're not going to pull your credit and it's going to go from 800 to 720. That just doesn't happen. It might drop 2 to 4 points, but then it's going to come back up as long as you keep doing the correct things on your credit to get you to that point already. So that's also a huge fallacy, is hearing that is the credit's going to drop my score. And that is not the case.
Not the case at all. Not the case at all. But that's the building block of the pre-approval is a credit pull. Then we look at assets and income. Does the buyer have the proper funds to close? And what is their income calculation for mortgage purposes? Anthony, job history, figuring out mortgage income can be way different than what a buyer's thoughts are, right? Hey, I work this job. I just started this job. I do all this. But for mortgage purposes, we may not be able to count all of that income. So that's the one part of the pre-approval. We have to confirm job history and income as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's quality of the client. We have to make sure that you have stable income to repay the loan. I mean, you might make a certain amount of money specific times of the year, but if we can't see that to come up with your monthly income to show based on debts that show on credit, as well as the new mortgage we're trying to lend, that you can confidently pay that back with no issues, you have issues. So that has to be verified up front. And documentation has to be provided. I mean, when some lenders are saying, hey, this file's pre-underwritten, and they give you a pre-approval with a list of conditions, which is pay stubs, W-2s, photo ID, and bank statements, you don't have a pre-approval. You have a pre-qualification. So having that information up front is going to save you a lot of time and aggravation.
And that's the reason sometimes a pre-approval can be done the same day. Sometimes it might take a day or two. We might have to wait to get the proper documentation, review job history, but it is worth a day or two at the beginning to get the pre-approval correct than to rush through it and have a disaster later down the road.
And that's also why you get your pre-approval done before you start going and looking at houses, so you don't see a house Sunday afternoon and need to put the offer in Sunday night. There's a whole process to this, and it's not bing, bang, boom anymore.
Yep, that's not. It's like garbage in, garbage out. If you're rushing around, doing things last minute, not giving documentation, and then you wonder why the mortgage process is difficult, it might be, sometimes you have to look in the mirror. That's all. But when it comes to the pre-approval, okay, so we got the credit pull. We have income and employment taken care of and confirmed. The final step really for us is to use our automated underwriting system and to run it through that system to make sure we get an approval. Because in the mortgage world, if you don't have an automated underwriting approval, no one can do anything. So that's a little bit behind the scenes, but that's the 3 or 4 steps that we are always taking to make sure your clients are fully pre-approved, ready to go, that gold standard pre-approval. So not only are you confident that you're putting in a good offer, when that listing agent sees that gold standard piece of paper, it's like, okay, ooh, this is a West Penn pre-approval, not Joe Schmo pre-approval. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, this lender's legit. They're local. We see them close all the time. I've never heard of Joe Schmo mortgage. Offers are competitive. It can play an advantage of putting in a stronger offer. Everyone wants to talk about stronger offers. That West Penn gold standard pre-approval will make your offer stronger from the get-go. And then you can add all the cherries and sprinkles on top, whatever you want to do on the real estate side. But we got you on the financing side.
100%. Our pre-approval is gold. It is not a piece of paper.
That is a perfect ending. Mr. Anthony, anything else to wrap us up?
It's making a great day, man. It's making a great day. How's AC? Day. You're representing West Penn up in AC.
We're going to hit the craps tables today, so I'll let you know on Friday.
All right, buddy.
See you guys later.
See you, man.
Later.
Tom, Ryan, and Anthony.